Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're just doing a little bit of patch birding, not looking for anything in particular, just it's birding. Sometimes you just fancy a day out, you fancy a little walk, and we're going to see what we can see. We're doing a little bit of patch birding down Pig Lane onto Bouthlam Mere, and hopefully we can see something interesting. You might notice that that behind me there's some, plenty of signs, plenty of railings, and the backdrop of Pig Lane looks a bit different to what it used to be. As some of you that have watched my channel before may remember that I did a couple of videos about protecting Pig Lane and the proposed planning permissions on the area. Now, to be as plain and simple as possible, money talks, and as much as you might campaign and talk about the wildlife, talk about the issue that this area is quite literally a floodplain. The council, if they get enough money from it, who cares? It's not an issue to them. So unfortunately Pig Lane is undergoing the first phase of its development, but regardless, we'll keep walking down here, keep birding down here. It's still one of my favourite spots for birding. It's going to be a long time before it's fully built on. It was a sad day when they started building, and it's going to be a much sadder day when it's all finished. But keep birding here. It's still a great spot for wildlife, and as long as it's still a wild area, I'll still walk down here. As I walked down the lane, I was greeted with a small herd of deer, with other notable species including yellowhammer and a lone buzzard. I've walked down most of the way of the lane now. We're nearly at the end, and there's been a decent number of species. I'd say somewhat depleted compared to what you might expect to see. I'd say that's some part down to the weather this morning, the rain this morning, and a large part, especially at the top of the lane, down to the building and the destruction of the fields and the habitats. You can see the damage that the building's doing. It's not hard to see. If you're any sort of birdie, you can notice instantly, especially down that end, that there's a lack of birds compared to what they used to be. Coming up to the end of the lane now, we're going to go onto the mere in a minute. There's been reports of some hooper swans there, so that would be a nice thing to see, but we'll see what's on there. Could be anything, could be nothing. We're in that line now. I must be quiet, but I can already see, I've just sat down, I can already see there's plenty of hooper swans. There's a load more. In fact, 10 more have just flown over. I don't know if they're gonna, I think they're gonna keep going. I don't think they're gonna land. There's plenty on the mere, but on top of that, there's a great white egret right in the middle of the mere on its own. I wasn't expecting to see that today. There's plenty of conchs around, plenty of waterfowl. That is a great white egret. That is not something I expected to see today. Once a rarity in Britain, the great white egret is now a breeding and wintering bird, with 10 pairs each summer and around 72 birds in winter. So, I've been sat at the mere for a while now in the hide, the coots. There's plenty of those, as there always is. There's always coots on here. But 21 hooper swans, which was the same as reported yesterday. I thought they were going to get up at one point. They started, about 6 of them started flying around. And I thought that was the last I was going to see of them, but no, they came back. They just sort of flew around the mere and then settled again. Great white egret was up and then has landed out of view over there somewhere. It's just coming back into view now. The Chetty's warbler around as well. Again, there's always a Chetty's warbler around here, but it's a lovely thing to hear. You hardly ever see them. Plenty of pochard as well, a few shoveler. Walking back up the lane now. There shouldn't be too many more species. I think most of the species I'll see now as I'm walking along will be the same as I saw on the way up. It's been a very good day nonetheless. I really didn't expect to see that great white egret. That's a great sighting. The mere is actually it's been a really good spot for wildlife. I've had hobby there this year. We've had peregrine in the past. I didn't see it, but there was a black redstart there, I think last year. Might have been the year before. It's also been a good spot over the past couple of years for starling murmurations. So hopefully, as we get, further into the colder months of the year, I'll be able to get some footage on that. because it is absolutely amazing, and to have it, you know, on a local patch is fantastic. Getting towards the end of the lane now, not too much more as I expected. Reed bunting, a fleeting glance of one along the ditch, which is always nice to see. You do see them fairly regularly around here, but that doesn't make it any less interesting, of course. I think that'll conclude today. Really good day for birding, not what I expected at all. Yeah, fantastic day. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.